Hey guys, what's up? It's Ethan here, and I know I'm not posted in a while. I'm sorry, it's because I've been busy with my main channel, which is simply just Ethan Cook. But today I'm going to be doing a vid on my PlayStation 3 collection, and it might take a while because I have quite a few games. So let's get started. And if you guys want to see my PlayStation 4 collection, then please leave a like. So we're going to start off with Far Cry 4 Limited Edition. Although this game was extremely similar to Far Cry 3, I actually played this one first, so I had a lot of fun with it. It has great gunplay. I'd recommend it to anybody who hasn't got it yet. And it's probably pretty cheap at this point, because it's been out for a while. Second, we have my favorite game of all time, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Kind of fucked up that title, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Skyrim is my favorite game of all time. I really like what someone said about it. I have no idea who they were, but I'm just going to kind of summarize what they said. They were pretty much saying that Skyrim doesn't have the best, gameplay, doesn't have the best quests, any of that. But all of Skyrim put together makes a really amazing game, and that's why I love it. Next, we have Call of Duty Advanced Warfare Day Zero Edition. Now, I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan, and this was the first one that I had actually bought. I played a couple others, but the Advanced Warfare was the first one I bought, and I had a lot of fun with it. I do like Black Ops 3 better because I felt that the jetpacks in this game are just kind of getting old and kind of boring. Next, we have Destiny: The Taken King. Now, a lot of people bashed this game because they said, it didn't have a good story, it got repetitive, and I kind of agree, although I think The Taken King fixed a lot of those issues. But the thing about Destiny is when I entered the game, I was kind of, I had low expectations, to be honest, so it surpassed my expectations, and I actually had some fun with it. Alright, on to stack number 2. So, we start off with Borderlands, the pre-sequel, which, I didn't play Borderlands 1, but I did play Borderlands 2. It was an amazing game, and compared to those, this game, honestly, wasn't really the best. It was fun. I kind of liked the whole moon setting, but I think they could have done a little better with it, but I just can't wait for Borderlands 3. Now, next we have Borderlands 2 Game of the Year Edition. This game was absolutely amazing. I love this game. It's so funny, it has such good gunplay, a bunch of different weapons. It's just an amazing game, and you have to pick it up if you don't have it, because I'm not sure what it costs now, but it's pretty cheap, I can bet you, and it's one of the best games of all time. Next we have this Ultimate Stealth Triple Pack, which has Thief, which is an okay game. I don't have much to say about it. Hitman Absolution, that was a really fun game. I like sneaking around, hiding people's bodies, killing them. And Deus Ex Human Revolution, which I actually didn't play much of, but it's a really fun game. Now we have Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition. I do have Fallout 4 for my PS4, so I like that a lot better than New Vegas, but New Vegas is really an amazing game, and if you don't have it, and you don't have a PlayStation 4, you only have last gen, you have to get this game. It's so good. Like, there's no reason not to get it. Next we have Shadow of Mordor, which, surprisingly, was actually a really amazing game. It's not really a movie tie-in game, but it is licensed with the Lord of the Rings franchise. And usually games like that are terrible, but this game was really good, probably one of the best. It took the combat from the Batman Arkham games, some elements of Assassin's Creed with sneaking around, and it made an excellent game. Next we have another one of my all-time favorite games, Red Dead Redemption. This game is amazing. A lot of people say it's like Grand Theft Auto, but in the Old West, and I gotta be honest, it's better than that. I mean, there's just so much to do in this game. This game is so fun. It has an amazing story. One of the best stories of all time. And if you don't have this game, and you're a PlayStation owner, what the fuck are you doing? Go out and buy it. It is really, really good. Alright, on to the third pile. We start this pile off with Dishonored. This game was actually really good. One of my favorite things about this game is you can play stealthily, you can use your powers, you can go around and just stab people, you can play it however you want. And it's really fun. I don't know if I was expecting much out of this game, but it was really good. Next we have Assassin's Creed Rogue. This game was pretty good. Not as good as some of the other Assassin's Creeds, but obviously not as bad as a game like Unity. I've not played the newest Assassin's Creed, Syndicate, but this game was pretty good. pretty good. Next we have Ultimate Evil Edition Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. This game is really good. I really enjoy this game, especially playing the two-person co-op. It's really fun, and the Reaper of Souls DLC adds a lot more to the game. If you don't have it, then you should definitely buy it. It's really great to play. Next we have Dark Souls 2, and I'm not really sure how to feel about this game. It's a good game with great gameplay, but it's so difficult. And I'm not exactly the most calmest gamer ever, so I have had some kind of rage quit moments with this game, and it's really difficult, so only buy it if you're ready for that. But you might as well pick it up. Next we have the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, the game before Skyrim. Obviously Skyrim is one of my favorite games, so I decided to pick this game up, and it's pretty good. It's nowhere near as good as Skyrim, but if you kind of want to see what came before, you might as well pick it up, because I got it for $9, and now it's probably even cheaper than that. So yeah, you should probably pick it up if you want to see what came before Skyrim. Alright guys, on to the fourth pile. We start this off with a game called Lord of the Rings Conquest. I kind of picked this up on a whim. It's an okay game. I don't really play it that much. I probably wouldn't recommend picking it up. I don't have much to say about it. Now, I do have a lot to say about this game. This game is called Infamous, PlayStation exclusive, one of my favorite games of all time. It's so good game. It's so good game. Yeah, my English is really great, isn't it? This is such a good game. It's one of the best PlayStation games out there. And at the time, I got it for $15. It's even cheaper now. If you don't have this game, you have to play it. It is so good. It's by this dude named Cole McGrath who gets electrical powers. And it's not your typical superhero story. You can choose to become a hero, and the people will slowly begin to like you, or a villain. People are going to be throwing rocks and stuff at you. Kind of rude. Next we have the sequel to that game, Infamous 2, which is also an amazing game, maybe even better than Infamous, and I got this for $20. It's even cheaper now. If you don't have it, as I said with Infamous, go and pick it up. Go and pick up both of them. They are amazing games. I don't know why you would not pick them up. They're so good. Well, we're just going through all the good games now, huh? Now, I have another one of my favorite games of all time. We have Game of the Year Edition, Uncharted 2, Among Thieves. This game is so good. If you don't have it, you have to go buy it. It's one of the best PlayStation games of all time. I love this game. It's so good. To go along with it, I have Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception, which is also absolutely amazing. Surprisingly, I actually liked Uncharted 2 better, but if you don't have these two games, you have to get them. And you also should pick up Uncharted number 1, Drake's Fortune, I think it's called, which I've played a little bit because on the PlayStation 4 I have the Nathan Drake collection, which has games 1, 2, and 3. And I'm playing those, and I can say I'm really excited for Uncharted 4. Next we have Star Wars The Force Unleashed number 2. I played the first one of these on my Wii, which wasn't the best experience. But I actually think the first one was better than this, because this game is kind of short. It was okay. Probably wouldn't recommend it unless you can get it for really cheap. Next we have Captain America Super Soldier. As I was saying earlier, movie tie-in games are usually pretty terrible, so I didn't have high hopes for this game. But actually, it's an okay game, especially the combat. The combat is kind of Arkham style, and it's really fun. It doesn't have the best story, graphics, anything like that, but the combat's actually really fun. So yeah, I guess I would recommend picking this game up, surprisingly. Next we have The Simpsons game. This game isn't the best game ever. I like it. It doesn't have that high quality though. I just like it because it's The Simpsons. It's funny. You know, if you're a fan of The Simpsons, I would recommend picking this game up. You might as well. It's pretty fun. And lastly, for this pile, we have Portal 2, one of the greatest hits, I agree. Now, this game is pretty short, but it's actually an asset to this game because basically none of the stuff you do in the game gets old. It introduces new elements each level, and it's a really fun game. If you don't have it, you have to go pick it up. On to the second last pile, and we start this pile off with a bad game. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Now, if you guys don't know, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. But Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2, they were just garbage, to be completely honest. A lot of people have called it, Angry Joe actually called it, Harry Potter Call of Duty Edition. It's terrible. Surprisingly, it's not nearly as good as the old Harry Potter games on PlayStation 2, like Harry Potter number 3. That game was actually pretty fun. It had nice puzzles. It was great. This game's garbage. It's terrible. Next, we have The Incredible Hulk, which, I mean, it was okay. I wouldn't recommend buying it. Sorry. It's an older game. It really wasn't the best. There's better games you could play. I wouldn't recommend picking this one up unless you get it for dirt cheap. Now we have a good game, Injustice: Gods Among Us. If you guys have ever played Mortal Kombat, this game is like that, probably because it's developed by the same people. It's really fun, and it was really cool seeing all the DC heroes and villains fighting each other. I love this game, and I love playing as Green Arrow just so I can spam people with arrows. That's his specialty. Next, we have Batman Arkham Asylum, which isn't... Honestly, it's not nearly as good as Arkham City, but this was the first game in the series, and it's really good. Honestly, I would recommend playing the whole series, so you should probably pick this one up. It is really fun. It's a great game. It's just excellent. Now we have the crown jewel of the Arkham series, Arkham City, which is only the second one. This game is amazing. You can play as Batman, Catwoman, have a huge open world to explore. It is so good. You have to pick it up, and it's probably pretty cheap at this point. Next we kind of have a disappointing game, Arkham Origins. You kind of see the origins of the Joker and when Batman first, became Batman. And it's honestly not nearly as good as Arkham City. It was kind of a disappointment, and this is actually one of the reasons I didn't pick up the newest Batman game, and I'm kind of glad I didn't because I heard it wasn't all that great. Alright guys, we're on to the last pile, and I can say that I've saved the worst for last, honestly. It seems we've already went past all of the really amazing games, so let's get started with this pile. We have Bloodstone 007. This is obviously a James Bond game. I mean, I don't have much to say about it. It's pretty mediocre. It's okay. If you can get it for really cheap, I guess I'd recommend picking it up. Apart from that, not really. Even $15 is probably too high for this game. Next we have Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Generations. Pretty long title. This game's okay, actually. If you like Naruto, and I guess you like fighter games, you might as well pick this up. Probably not for, an expensive price, but this game is okay. I don't have much to say about it. Next we have Dragon Ball Raging Blast. This game is actually okay. It's a bit of an older game, but if you like Dragon Ball, you like fighting games, I recommend picking it up. I actually had some fun with this game, probably because I was younger when I played it, but it's definitely one of the better Dragon Ball games, better than the garbage we're getting nowadays. Talking about the Dragon Ball garbage we're getting nowadays, this is Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Tenkaichi. I wouldn't recommend picking this game up. It just took a lot of the fun out of the series of games. I don't have much to say about it. It just wasn't really that great, There was a lot of non-interactive cutscenes during battle, stuff like that. It just wasn't that fun. QuickTime events, this game has a ton of QuickTime events. Next we have PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. This is clearly PlayStation's attempt to kind of copy Smash Bros. With Nintendo, and they didn't do nearly as good. Smash Bros. Is an amazing game, super fun. This game's okay. I guess it's kind of cool if you want to see some of your favorite PlayStation characters fighting each other, but it's not all that great. Next we have an absolutely garbage game. Don't buy it. I picked it up for $5, still too much. It's called Fracture. It's a third-person shooter, and you can, raise the level of the ground, terraform it, stuff like that. It's garbage. It's just terrible gameplay, terrible story. I hated it. Next we have Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. It's okay. I wouldn't recommend picking it up, especially for a higher price. If you want to see all the different Spider-Man, then it might be cool for you, I guess, but apart from that, it's just kind of mediocre. And lastly, we have The Amazing Spider-Man. Now, this game is better than The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and a lot of other Spider-Man games, but it still does not live up to how good Spider-Man 2, the original Spider-Man 2 was. I don't know if you guys have played that. That game was absolutely amazing. I loved that game. I played it a bunch on my PlayStation 2. This game, it's okay, actually. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's not as bad as Amazing Spider-Man 2. It's okay. If you can get it for cheap, I guess I'd recommend picking it up. So guys, that was my PlayStation 3 collection. If you enjoyed this video and want to see a PlayStation 4 collection video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. So, yeah. Bye.